My name is Kyle Davis. I am one of the Senior Technical Support Specialists here at ATG. This webinar, I'm going to be covering the processes to creating the rooms, spaces, views, and sheets. We're going to talk about the process of using within Revit itself, of the procedures that have already been done, but also some processes that you may not know about using the CTC tools. So we're going to automate the process a little better. The first thing here to cover with the creating of the rooms and spaces in sheets is some of the manual processes that are used. Here on screen, you see that at the top, there is the place rooms and spaces, and there is an option in there of automatically. However, I want to show the process there of what are some of the limitations and the causes that it can do, and then the typical workflows that you will use for these, and then we'll get into the automatic process in a second. So first, let's get to the manual way. So with the rooms, when you are going through and going to place the rooms on the architecture tab, there is the rooms. And then you would just need to go through and place these rooms in the order that you want them to go. So I can come over here and I'm going to place a room here. And I see that the number starts off with 266 because that was the last room placed or the last room that was renumbered. But I can escape out before I place any more. And I'm going to change this to 301. Then I'm going to go back into the room command and continue placing. So 302, 304, and so on. Let's go ahead and place a few in here. And as you see, again, the numbers keep going up. So again, as long as you follow the order that you want them to go up in number, the rooms will continue going in that process. However, the other process that can be used is the automation, room automation, or automatically here. If I click on this option, it will just simply tell me it placed this many rooms within the model, within this view. So this doesn't allow you to place it in multiple views. It just simply comes through here and places them automatically here. Now, if I close out of this and I'm going to zoom in here to these rooms here, you could see that right here, this was 308, but then over here it's 381, 380, and then 327, 326, and you get some of these rooms that just jump around in numbers. And the reason for that is just that in the back end of Revit, unfortunately, the way it's programmed for that place rooms automatically, it kind of goes in a clockwise manner or counterclockwise. I can't remember the exact method it goes, but you can see that it comes through and it does not place them in the order that you were kind of going through here. So this was 308, and then 309 is probably in here somewhere, but it's not in a just the next room over. It kind of went into a jump here. I'm not even seeing a 309. Oh, there's a 311. So it's got to be in here somewhere. It's just, it doesn't have a rhyme or reason in the regards of the direction it goes. So this is why I'm not going to recommend this procedure of doing that. But again, it was just rooms and place rooms automatically. Now in that placing rooms automatically, it does take a direction and just goes with it. And I think it goes in like a circular motion of one of the directions and places the rooms. So if you didn't have a crazy amount of rooms like this, it would be okay if it was just like a square building with rooms and you did kind of have an order, you could. But you can always come back and renumber these, through the processes, but it takes some time. Now, what it also does is it finds any space in here, such as this wall and this wall, and it put a room here. Even though I don't want a room here, it still put a room in there. So I would have to come back through and start deleting any of the rooms that I didn't need. So there is some limitations with this procedure as well, even though it can speed up some time just to get the rooms in there. but it doesn't have an order that you can control, and then it doesn't have any parameters in there that let me choose, like maybe how much square footage it has or something else. So again, I have to go through here and start removing any of those extra rooms. So here I'm just selecting the tag, select host, and delete. So I find that select host is much easier than trying to get that X in there manually. So just come through here and get rid of those. Let's get rid of a few more here. But you can see how tedious this task is still going here. Now, one of the other things about the creating the rooms is, I don't know if anyone's seen it or played with it, but there is a procedure of creating rooms that you can predefine. So for example, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create a room. Is right here under the ribbon on the options bar, there is a room option here where you can hit the drop down and then you can pick a room that you want to specify. So like, for example, if there was a mechanical room and you wanted to place that and you have that defined in your projects, you would be able to place it. Again, makes it easy to be able to, again, predefine a room, place it. I apologize here, my Revit seems to be going really slow on me. Can everyone hear me okay and the screen moving for you? If you get in the chat session, you can post if any responses there, but my Revit is going really slow here. There we go. Just had to catch up to itself. All right. So again, if I go in, when I go into the room command and go to the drop down, I can place a room that I've already predefined. So again, if I have a need of electrical room or mechanical room, or in this case, an elevator room, if I have a room specified already, I can go ahead and specify that and then place it in the model. This makes it easy to predefine those in your template or have it predefined for a particular project, and then you just come through and place them. Now, the only downside there is it takes in the room number automatically based on what it was before. So if you keep that room number in there and room name, it will be left over. So I want to go over that process here when I had those rooms in that drop down there. If I go to the room schedule, any of the non-placed rooms here will show up in that drop down when I go through and put it in there. So for example, I'm going to say this is going to be an equipment room. Actually, let's say this is a conference. Do I have that? Yes, I do have a conference. There we go. Conference or elevator room. So this is 357 or 356. So if I come over here, go to the room and hit the drop down, there's that elevator room. And then I can pick it and place it in the model. Now I already have a room in here, but I'm going to put it in there anyway. So I have duplicate rooms. But then I'm going to get rid of the other room. So if I didn't do automatic rooms, that would be better. And then the creating of the views, that would be the next one here, is creating those views manual. Does take that time of just being able to create all the different views that you want based on the type of view, the level, and then applying the view templates and even the duplicating the views, which is covered again, that the manual process to then show what the automatic process will be. So if I wanted to create another view over here, I can go to the view tab, go to plan view and floor plan. Then I can pick what type of view I want. So if I had multiple types of views, I can do that. But then I can pick what level I need to do. There is an option down here of do not duplicate existing view. If I uncheck it, I get all the views in here of ones that I've already created. So if I want to kind of duplicate another level for another purpose, maybe I need a structural view, I could do that. Or a furniture or fire or whatever. So I'm gonna grab another level 1 and I'm gonna say, okay. Then I have to come over here and grab in the view template. Let's make this a color plan. And then over here, I see my floor plan that I created. It took in the color here. Whereas if I go actually undo that, before that, I have my parameters specified for discipline and sub-discipline. So right now, this is the discipline is architectural, and I have a sub-plan here, or sub-discipline. But when I apply my view template to it, it automatically takes the sub-discipline that I specified in that view template, and it put it over here under color. So now the color plan. Now, if I want to do that to multiple things, again, I can come over here. I'm going to select 2 to 4. Let's hit OK. And now it created those 2 to 4 views here. But then again, I have to select all of these and apply the view template to them, and it creates them. So now I have my color plans for 1 through 4. But then if I want to duplicate those, like as dependents, because I need, I have area plans here, I duplicate with detailing, or whoops, not duplicate with detailing, I meant duplicate as a dependent. So it creates my dependent view, and then I come over here and I grab my scope box and I say your area A, and then I got to rename this to be area A. And then I got to duplicate as a dependent again, and then do the other scope box and rename. So pretty quick and easy, but it does take that little bit extra time to just go through and duplicate those. And now I got to do it for every single level. I got to go through and create those dependent views. So it can take some time to do that depending on your project size. 15-story buildings, 20-story buildings, skyscrapers, that could take some time. And then sheets, creating the sheets. When I come down to sheets, right click, new sheet. I pick my title block, hit OK. But then I got to do that again and again and again. If I have multiple sheets I need, if I don't have those in my particular template, I have to duplicate or create new sheets and then fill out the parameters for them, such as the name. If I have any other parameters like the sheet order or sub-discipline like I have here, I got to constantly go through and do those. And then the name of it, when I do by default of creating a new sheet, automatically goes up in the number from the last one created. So then here it did 23. So I could keep doing it, but it would go up in number. But then if I wanted to create a structural sheet or a civil sheet or something else, I would have to rename it and then create the sheets again to go up in order there. So those are the processes there for the manual creating of those elements. We've all done them. Spaces, the same thing. I didn't cover that of showing it, but spaces are similar to rooms that you're placing spaces. You go through there and you place your spaces. You do have space automatic, but again, it does the same thing of going through and placing the space in a kind of a random order. So now let's get into some of the automatic processes with using some of the CTC tools. The first one is Spreadsheet Link. Some people do not know about this one. It's a kind of a hidden feature that you have to actually know about, or it is mentioned in the user guide, but again, it's one of those obscure things that you may not think that it can do this. Now, on the first portions of it, of creating the new rooms and new spaces, I'm going to cover the process there that you do have the ability to create those rooms and spaces, but these are going to create the unplaced spaces in the project that you can then put into the model. So I want to give that disclaimer there. And then we go back with the sheets, you can create the sheets and give them the parameters that you want before you even create them and place them in the model. With the sheets, we'll get into another course of placeholder sheets or live sheets. So let's show that. So CTC software tab, Spreadsheet Link. And then let's go to the rooms category. And then right now it's processing all the rooms within the model. So it's going to go through all those. And then I'm going to get the name and number. So I grab those, and now over here I can scroll through and I can see a list of all my rooms that I have in my model. Then if I go up to the Create tab, I have Create New Rooms. And then I can choose what phase those rooms exist in. And then how many do I want? Let's just say for now I want 20. So I hit Create. And now down here, it created the new rooms it gives them elements here. And then I can specify a name and number. So let's just simply do like 401 here and then 402. Then if I want, I can do those two numbers and then do the drag feature here to just kind of go up in value for 420 there. And then you don't necessarily have to give it a name of specifying here, but you could specify it before you do it, which I'm going to just say these are all offices for now. But then if you had any other parameters in there for like the wall finishes or occupancy loads, if you're doing any of those calculations, you could specify that before you even apply the value back to the model. But you can also do the edits if you have not used this tool. You can also edit the existing views and sheets and rooms and all that already as well. I can come in here and renumber these to match what I want. So let's go through and see if these have a level 2. Yeah, see there's level 2. So I already have those numbered correctly. Level 3 is numbered correctly. But then I get down to 4. I haven't done level 4s yet. So, but I'm going to create these as placeholders so that I can place them in the model. So I'm going to go to Apply, Active Worksheet. And then right here it says how many updated and how many created and how many unchanged. So close out. Now just to show the change here, now if I'm going to close out a Spreadsheet Link and I'm going to go to my room schedule. And you're going to see here's all those unplaced rooms and it gave it a name. Now if I had included the other parameters for the other values, those would be filled out automatically as well. Now, again, this is creating them as unplaced room. It's not actually physically placing the rooms in the model. The Spreadsheet Link tool does allow you to create them, but not place. So those we have to go through. There's not a tool that does place the rooms, but you can go through and create them. Now, also with that being said, bonus tool is one of the free tools in here is renumbering. And this one will allow you to, let me go to a review that has all the numbers. There we go. The free tool of renumbering will allow you to go through and renumber your rooms. So even if you did do the place automatic or kind of go through and renumber these, bring up this tool here, and it's a free one that you can just say start with sequence. Just for now, I'm going to say 501. Auto swap room number is if you have a number already in use and you want to change it and say you're now going to swap out to be the same, because otherwise you get the error message that a room number is already in use. So just to show here, I'm going to say renumber. I'm going to click this room, 501, 502, 503. And then so you just get to choose the order that you want them to go. So even if you did place room automatically, you can then use this tool to go through and renumber those. Here also you can renumber areas and you can renumber spaces as well to make them go the order that you want them to go. But it can also do the other things of doors, grids, detail numbers, and general, which is anything else. So just wanted to bring up a tool that you can use to renumber kind kind of not an automatic full way, but a way that can help speed up that time frame of renumbering all your rooms again. And then again, with the spreadsheet link, let's get back to that. You can do the same thing of creating the spaces. But again, now the next one is in the sheets. Now with the sheets, this is the amazing one with the sheets is that when you go to create the sheets, you actually do get an option here to pick your title block. And then you get to pick what do you want them to be unplaced sheets. So I'm going to say one unplaced sheet. I'm going to create. And then let's go back up here and create 10 sheets. So this one's going to be unplaced. These are going to be placed. Then I'm going to come in here and say that this was, let's do S. I forgot what my last sheet number was for S. Looks like S2. So let's go S3. I want S3 here. So, and then we'll do S4, and then we'll do the procedure to copy down to go up in value. And then this one will do general 1. And then I'm going to apply it. And then it gives me 11 created. Let's close out. And now those sheets are over here. Now I didn't give them a name, so you can see here, it just gave them no name. So I should have gave them a name. But it also didn't apply the parameters that I could have done. I could have specified the discipline and all that as well, so that these are already in there. But even if I create them and I don't do that, I can come back into the tool and update those values. So let's grab sheets, and then we'll grab name and number again. And let's choose this to be sort by room number for the sorting here, so that it filters better so I can see these over here. And then this is where I can come in and let's go back to the subdiscipline. And I'm going to make all of these structure. And then I'm going to make this one a general. And then let's go through here and just say level 2, level 3. Oops. Let's do that. Yeah, there we go. Even though I don't have that, we'll just still do it anyway. And then apply. And then you see how many got updated. So then when I close out, all those sheets were moved, and now they're under this grouping here. So you can save time here with creating those elements in your model pretty quick with creating the sheets and the rooms. Now the rooms again are unplaced, so you can go back, whereas the sheets can be created. Now currently the procedure here for the sheets, that tool does not have a way to put the views on a sheet. That's going to be still the manual process. But even with that, let's get into the views automation with View Creator. And this tool is a great tool for creating the views that you need in a project really quick and easy. You can create floor plans, ceiling plans based on view templates and phasing very quick and easy. Then you could also create dependent views based on the scope boxes that you have in your project. You can also manage what title blocks your sheet uses. You can create duplicate views pretty quick, or duplicate your views really quick. But you can also manage and automate the speed of seeing what view templates are applied to views and be able to switch them around in here. So let's show this. So in the View Creator button, the first one is you can create levels if you need to. But you can come in here and create these levels in the tool, or you can again create them in Revit itself. Then under the plans and ceilings here, I can select what levels I want to create. I'm going to select the color here, and let's give it an abbreviation of color. And then I want them to be new construction views. Let's see, do I have any other view ones? I was going to quickly create another one. Let's do framing as well. And we'll do struct for that. Then down here, I get to choose the order of the view names that I want it to go. So I have an order of the level and then the extension at the end. So I'm going to say that this is going to be based on level, then view template, and then phase, but I put no abbreviation for phase. So it's not going to put any kind of abbreviation to the end of it, but it is going to take the abbreviation of the others. So I'm going to click add, and then it's going to create these views for me for every single level that I did. So 1, 2, 3, and so on. Now, if I want to come back and say, no, I also need, let's do some furniture plans. I think I already have furniture plans. Let's just do roof plans for this, and we'll do structural foundation. Hit add, and then it adds more. Now you can see here that when I did the view template, it's putting that longer name in here, so I'd have to come through and get some better abbreviation here. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and say create views. 16 views were created. So right there, I just created 16 views in only a few seconds of time. And they automatically have the view template applied to them. So over here, I will have my furniture and safe structural plans already created for that. Now, some of these did go in the question mark area I see up here, and that's probably because my architectural roof plan did not put a subdiscipline in here for those, so put a question mark instead. But this tool can also do the elevations if you wanted to duplicate your elevations for your phases. And then my favorite is the dependent views, which allows me to come in here and set views that I want to be duplicated as a dependent, so that I can come in here and say, you have a dependent, you have a dependent. And I just keep going through here pretty quickly and just kind of checking which views I want to have dependents on. And then it's going to have the naming convention that I want for that area as well. So let's see if I go through here, there. And then say create dependent views. The tool is going to run through and it's going to create dependent views for every single one of those views that I created. So 18 here. If I close out of all that, here's the color plan that I selected. Here's the furniture plans, the general plans. And then I had the structural plans, same thing there that it did the dependents there. And then the structural here, I think I did those. Yep, there we go. So those have dependent views as well as those. So I could have just created dependent views of every single one of these levels in only a few seconds time. And then when I go to those, it also automatically applies the scope box to it, so that you don't have to come through and apply that scope box manually. So it just saves me a ton of time with doing that. Schedules, you can duplicate your schedules for the phase and levels if you do choose. It does have a sheets and title blocks tab where you can come in here and change out the title block that you want the sheet to use. You do have the button down here of adding sheets and batch add sheets. So if I wanted to create more sheets, I can use this to create the sheets as well. Either just add a sheet or put in the name, or I can batch add and add multiple sheets in here to go through that. But you could also create views based on the work sets. So if I wanted to create a view based on these particular work sets to make sure that those elements are on the correct work set, I can create some 3D views with only that work set enabled. So I come in here, created 2 views, 3D views. Let's see where it put those. It should be up here. So if I go to that view, it will create a 3D view based on the work sets here. So show, and everything else is hidden. So I can see that most of this building, when the elements are placed, they're all on the architectural elements. There's nothing on the work sets element of FFE yet, because I haven't put any furniture in here, but if I did, and I put them on that particular work set, that 3D view will have those elements in there. So this is a kind of a helpful way of going to create a 3D view for you that had the work set in there. The duplicate views tab just allows you to simply go through and duplicate with detailing or duplicate it as the dependent. You could select the views and tell it how many you want it to do of that view. And then you can put a prefix and a suffix on it to change it. When it creates the duplicate, it adds a prefix or suffix. By default, it just puts a 1, 2, 3, and so on behind it to keep the order of it. Then the View Templates tab allows you to see what views do not have a view template, and then see what view templates or have views applied to them. So under this one here, I see that I have several of this view template applied to these views here, but these views may not be the correct view for those view templates. So maybe I grab those and I pull them to a different view template. And I can move these around. But I can also say, okay, now I have these views over here, but I need them to have a view template applied to them. So I'm going to grab that and I'm going to pull it over to my architectural ceiling plan view template and then apply them. So now I just apply the change of those views to have that view template automatically for me and not have to manually go through and try to figure out if it needs a view template or if it has the wrong view template. I can come in here and just drag and drop them around. So that is the processes of creating the rooms and spaces, views, and sheets. If you have any questions on these procedures or want to see something else real quick, there is the question and answer panel as well as the chat. Please propose your question and we can go over them. All right, thanks everyone. I hope you all have a great rest of your day and thanks for watching.